Welcome everybody to Boom with Buffalo Josh. This is your host, Josh Jaco, aka Buffalo Josh. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their weekend and have enjoyed the last couple of weeks. I know it's been quite some time since I've actually done a podcast on Boom with Buffalo Josh. I don't remember what the last episode we were doing on, but today's basically kind of almost going to be a special. Unfortunately, we are at a different location and I'm working remotely. So things are a little bit more difficult than usual. But it's still a great, same awesome content, and we're still powered by Kick the Media. So make sure that you go check it out at www.kickthemedia.com. Make sure you're liking, you're following, and you're sharing, because those all do things that matter. Today, I'm really just kind of winging today's episode, which will be released hopefully today. And in our future podcasts, we will definitely be on track for August with weekly release. Just unfortunately, I've had some family emergencies and whatnot and had to take care of those matters. But anyways, just to let you guys know, I am recording from beautiful Sandpoint Beach in beautiful Windsor, Ontario, Canada, which is across from beautiful Detroit, Michigan, the United States of America. So there's a couple things I wanted to talk about, My main thing I want to talk about is, balance. Because that's something I struggle with on a daily. Like I said, today is kind of just a special podcast. I'm just going to kind of wing it, basically, and kind of, talk about a lot of different things. One thing that I struggle with is time management and balance. I've tried practicing over the last 2 years to, try to get better at finding balance in my life as well as time management. Balance is, according to the dictionary here, is, it's an even distribution of weight enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. For example, she lost her balance before falling. Another noun of it is a condition in which different elements are equal or in the correct proportions. For a verb of it, back to the other one. For the noun, is trying to keep a balance between work and relaxation. That's a lot of us struggle to do that on a daily. I know me personally, I struggle with doing that on numerous occasions. But the verb is keep or put something in a steady position so that it does not fall. A mug that she balanced on her knee. Second content of a verb, offset or compare the value of one thing with another. The cost of obtaining such information needs to be balanced against its beliefs or benefits per se. And, that's something that I really want to talk about today because I know I'm probably not the only one who struggles with balance per se, with balance between work and relaxation, balance and family, friends, the list goes on. People have asked me, okay, so then how do I find balance? You got to find your own methods and what helps you best. I have daily meditations that I do on a daily basis that help me reflect upon my day, and if I've done something wrong throughout that day, I need to correct what I've done wrong that day to make it right, because I can only move forward if I'm going down the right path, and that's one of the many things that a lot of us struggle. And even with time management, a lot of people say, it's a process of organization and planning how to divide your time between specific activities. Good time management enables you to work smarter, not harder, so that you get more done in less time. Even when time is tight and pressures are high, a lot of us, we work and, we have deadlines of certain things to get filed on a certain date. And, sometimes we overanalyze it or overstress with it, Even with me in these podcasts, this is kind of a hobby and I enjoy doing this. It's also a business as well too, but it's just powered by kickthemedia.com. And I struggle with trying to maintain a regular basis. It's still no excuses just because I have family matters and whatever else the case may have been. I still have to keep up with the content and make sure my followers are happy with the content. So we would love to hear your feedback. Just simply email us at contact@kickthemedia.com if you guys have any suggestions. I believe there's also a form filled out that you can fill out online on kickthemedia.com, or even PM us on Facebook or Instagram. We'll be more than happy to try to reach out to you. I'm just going to talk about me and myself and my opinions here. trying to find that time management is very, very hard. I find there's not enough hours in the day. I wake up almost at 7 o'clock in the morning, get ready to start my day, do my physio exercises, my chiropractic exercises, do my meditation, eat a little bit of breakfast, and then, I go on to checking emails, and then usually I'll have a medical appointment that I have to go to, and, it's almost lunchtime by that time, so I'll end up having lunch, and even at that point, it's already 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and by the time, I go back checking emails or doing some filing of paperwork or legal documents to get organized, or going through my filing cabinet to get arranged properly. It takes a lot of time and effort. With me still recovering with my medical conditions and whatnot, I'm not like the same person I used to be, where I was able to jog or run 11 kilometers no problem. Now I have a hard enough time to do almost 2 kilometers. And, maybe one day I'll get back to where I want to be, but I gotta stop beating myself up. That's just one thing that I have learned over the time, And I'm hoping that it will eventually change, and try to find this balance that I keep hearing of, or, it's a struggle. No one said this is an easy process. And, I was able to find out some brief guide to time management tips, benefits of time management. So it's a stress reliever for one. It's a stress reliever. You get more time, more opportunities, ability to realize goals, a list, the list goes on and on. But the benefits of time management, like I said, was saying, with stress relief, making and following a task schedule to reduce anxieties. As you check off some of the items on your to-do list, just make a list of what you need to get done per se. And, just simply check mark what ones you need to get accomplished. As you check off those items on your to-do list, you can certainly see, that you are making tremendous progress. This does help you to avoid feeling stressed out with worry about whether you're getting things done. These are one just minor tip that, I've used over the past and I am going to continue to use. For more time, good time management gives you extra time to spend in your daily life. People who can time manage effectively enjoy having more time to spend on hobbies or other personal pursuits. And, that's something that I've been slacking on. And, for me doing a podcast, this is kind of almost my hobby. I enjoy doing this. This kind of gets me out of myself. And, if one person can listen to this and benefit something from it, great, awesome, I've done my job, I'm happy. Managing time will also lead to many other opportunities and less time wasted on trivial activities. Good time management skills are key qualities that employers look for. The ability to prioritize and schedule work is extremely desirable for any organization. The ability to realize goals as well too. So, you got to make sure that these goals get done properly. You got to realize that individuals who practice good time management are able to better achieve goals and objectives and do so in a shorter length of time. I did find that my life, when I was, writing things down and doing the to-do list, it did help me. It gave less anxiety on my day-to-day things. I'm somebody who deals with anxiety, depression, PTSD, a whole bunch of other mental health issues as well too, including insomnia, and the list goes on, and to be able to write things down and cross things off and get that one thing off of your shoulder, it makes a tremendous big deal. And that's something that you got to work for, and it's not easy. Now, a list of tips for effective time management. After considering the benefits of time management, let's look at some times to manage time effectively. Set goals correctly. Prioritize, wisely. Set a time limit, so maybe an hour of your day you plan to do. I was reading an article a while back ago and they said, make 90-minute intervals. So work 90 minutes and then do something that you like, or a hobby or something for the next 90 minutes. So this way, you can get more done and more accomplished. Because if you end up overworking yourself, you're just going to burn yourself out. Another good tip is to take breaks between tasks. Organize yourself. Remove non-essential tasks. Plan ahead. Set your goals correctly. Setting goals that are achievable and measurable. Using the SMART method when setting goals is essential. Making sure your goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Prioritizing wisely as well too. Tasks based on importance and urgency, for example, look at your daily tasks and determine which are important and urgent. Do these tasks right away. There's no point slacking. Put them at the top of your list. Or even write a little star next to it so you know that task is prioritized. Important but not urgent. Deciding when to do these tasks, you got to be able to have the time management. You got to prioritize and see what needs to get done sooner than later. Urgent but not important, delegate these tasks if possible. Not urgent and not important, set these aside to do later at a later time. Setting a time and a limit to complete a task is a constraint wage for completing tasks helps you to be more focused and effective. Making a small effort to decide on how much time you need to allow for each task can also help you realize potential problems before they arise. That way, you can make plans for dealing with them all. For example, assuming you need to write up 5 reviews in time for a meeting. However, you realize that you'll only be able to get 4 of them done in a timely remaining before the meeting. If you become aware of this fact well in advance, you may be able to easily delegate writing up one of the reviews to someone else. However, if you hadn't bothered to do a time check-in, on your task beforehand, you might have ended up not realizing your time problem, until just an hour before the meeting. At this point, it might be considered more difficult to find someone to delegate one of the reviews to, and more difficult for them to fit the task into their day too. Take a break before tasks. It's good to take breaks, like I was saying earlier, 90 minutes of doing work and then 90 minutes of not doing anything. It's good to have prioritization. When you're doing a lot of tasks without a break, it is harder to stay focused and motivated. Allowing some downtime between tasks, clear your head and refresh yourself. Consider grabbing a brief nap, going for a short walk, or even doing some meditation. Those are some very good, tips to have better time management. Organize yourself. Utilize your calendar for more long-term time management. Write down the deadlines for projects or for tasks that are part of completing the overall project. Thinking about which days might be best to dedicate specific tasks. For example, you might need to plan a meeting to discuss cash flow on a day when the company's CFO is available. Now, we were, removing non-essential tasks. It is important to remove excessive activities or tasks to determine what's significant and what deserves your time. Removing non-essential tasks, activities frees up more of your time to be spent on genuine important things. Planning ahead, making sure you start every day with a clear idea of, what you need to do, what needs to get done that day. Consider making it a habit too. At the end of each workday, go ahead and write out your to-do list for the next workday. That way, you can hit the ground running the next morning. And, there are implications of poor time management, which a lot of people don't talk about. And, let's also consider the consequences of poor time management. So, for example, poor workflow. The ability to plan ahead and stick to goals means poor effectiveness. For example, if there are several important tasks to complete, an effective plan would be completed relative or related to tasks together or sequence. However, if you don't plan ahead, you could end up having to jump back and forth or back on track in doing your work that translates to reducing efficiency and lower production or productivity per se. And, poor time management is wasted time basically. results in waste time. For example, by talking to friends on social media while you're doing an assignment, you're distracting yourself and wasting time. And you got to really prioritize your time better. What's more important, accomplishing those tasks that will have you move forward in life? Or, going to hang out with your friends and having a beer, or, going to the bar, or going grabbing something to eat? Should be prioritized? Loss of control, by not knowing what the task is. You suffer from loss of control of your life. That can contribute to higher stress levels and anxiety. As well, too, you'll end up having poor quality of work. Poor time management typically makes the quality of your work suffer. For example, having to rush to complete tasks at the last minute usually compromises the quality. And that's one of the main reasons that I'm going to go into after I'm done reading this here. I'm going to go into, why I didn't come up with the podcast over the last several weeks, because I have missed a lot of shows. I've had, even though my health issues, and, I've been slacking on my time management. And this is kind of why I wanted to talk about this today. I know it's more of a health podcast, but anxiety is part of health as well, too. Poor reputation. If clients or your employers cannot rely on you, to complete a task in a timely manner, their expectations and perceptions of you are only adversely affected. If a client cannot rely on you to get something done on time, they will likely take their business elsewhere. And those are just some of many traits, that can help you better time manage your time. And it's, these are just several ways, that I'm going to try to do over the next little while. And, like I was saying earlier, it's no excuse for me to slack on the podcast. And, I truly do apologize for it. We have had some technical issues as well, too. But, I also did come across an article on lifehack.org. And it was 10 simple ways to find balance and get your life back. And, I decided, I was going to read it and whatnot. I am just going to read it because this is something we were talking about earlier. But I wasn't able to really answer. I was able to answer the time management. But, life balance seems to be on the topic of everyone's mind lately. We have discovered that maintaining a healthy life balance is not only essential for happiness and well-being, it can be a tremendous boost to your productivity and career or business success as well. A well-balanced person has a far greater ability to focus their attention on energy on attaining their goals, taking productive actions, moving forward in a meaningful way. The big question is, what does life balance really mean? What would a balanced life look like to us? And most importantly, how do we go about achieving it in a midst of our crazy schedules? There are steps that you can take to change what isn't working and get back some control and balance in your life. And once you start seeing results, you'll be better equipped to maintain the newfound equilibrium. The key is not to try to change everything at once, but to make small adjustments over time to determine what works for you. Eventually, you will have a whole new set of positive life habits, and you'll never look back. Here are some 10 tips that were available. Turn it off. Disconnect on the weekend. I hear the excuses already, but try it. At least for one day, or even a few hours each night. Put the phone down and turn off the computer. Give your work brain a rest. Spend the extra time actually interacting with your family and friends. Trim. It's a given that if your life is overflowing, you will, never be able to achieve balance and manage it all. It's just not possible, Say no to everything that isn't either not essential or doesn't add something value to your life. Be ruthless, okay? Pay attention to your health. We hear this over and over again, but usually only give it a lip service. We know what we need to do, but it isn't a priority until we have a health crisis. And we're going through something like that right now with the COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic. A lot of people don't know what to really do. Social distancing, and you see people not wearing masks. Our health reality does affect the quality of our lives and our work. We are far more productive and happier when we get enough sleep, eat a little healthier, and fit in some type of anxiety. Minimize toxins. By that I don't mean chemicals that might help you too. Minimize the negative influences around you. Avoid toxic people, complainers, whiners, poor attitudes. If you can't completely avoid them, at least minimize contact and tune them out as much as you can. Surround yourself with positive, supportive, can-do people whenever possible. Spend time alone. Making time for you is probably the hardest thing to do for the typical overworked and overwhelmed person. But it is crucial for lowering stress and increasing happiness and encourage creativity. Some things: try to meditate, write, sketch, do some yoga, or simply sit quietly for a few minutes each day and do absolutely nothing, And we are going to continue, but I wanted to give a huge shout out because we are powered by kickthemedia.com. As well, too, we do have a sponsor, and it's JJ Marketing Advantage Limited. Go check them out at jjmarketingadvantage.ca. I believe they're located on 895 Don Mills, Suite 900, I believe. Go check out their website. They do very awesome logo design, very creative website, and they do awesome consulting work. Seriously, go give them a call, check them out, and we're going to go back. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm working remotely, so some sound effects and whatnot won't be played in this episode, unfortunately. I've just decided to do it this way, just for this one episode. We are going to be posting on Kick the Media with our new time schedule post. I was talking to one of my co-hosts, Kemar Star, who's the host of Phone Tag News, and he wanted to do it twice a week. So during the month of August, I think we may do a trial run of doing it twice a week. I'm hopefully going to talk to him at some point today about that. Relationships also do matter, for balance in life, Set aside quality time with your family and friends. Don't just sit in front of the television. Really connect and pay attention to those you care about. Make a date with your significant other. Have a coffee with a friend. Play a game with a child. Really get to know people around you. Because, 1 minute they may not be here anymore. And if you have to treat yourself, get a pedicure or a facial. Better yet, schedule a massage. It doesn't need to be a glass of wine, your favorite coffee or tea, a delightful scented candle, or beautiful flowers will make a huge impact. Explore the world around you. Take a walk, pay attention to what's going on around you. Take a new route, visit a new town, or try being a tourist in your own. Attend a local performance, Play amateur photographer, or go to the park and watch children play. They really know how to enjoy life, And once again, I am reading this article off of lifehack.org, and this article is called 10 Simple Ways to Find Balance and Get Your Life Back on Track. And number 9, expand your awareness. Taking a class, learn to paint, just try something new that you always wanted to learn. It's simple as reading a book that sparks your interest, or try to listen to uplifting music. Find what interests you, And number 10, remember fun. Laugh, joke, play. Find your sense of humor. Subscribe to a daily joke or get a tear off of a calendar. Nothing makes them feel better as fast as the good old-fashioned belly laugh. And, they've always said that, laughing is basically a medicine. I really don't know how long I'm going to make this podcast. We're already about 25 minutes in. The podcast is really only scheduled for 45 minutes max. We don't have any commercials today. I have no problem sitting here and just blabbering away and telling you guys my opinion and whatnot and kind of what I've been through. And, that's the whole point of Boom with Buffalo Josh. It was to come out, learn about new things. Today I decided to talk about this, because I've been slacking on certain things. I have been slacking on the podcast. I've been slacking with my family and friends. I've been slacking on my legal documents that I have to get done for certain things, and I just got to move forward, and don't look back. We can't control what tomorrow may bring, when yesterday is gone and done for. What we have to focus about is the present moment. We got to worry about this moment in time. And I am going to be coming up with a couple more episodes, as well too. Who is that podcast? I know I've been slacking on well too. We'll probably have an episode come out like always scheduled. I think it was Thursdays it's scheduled for. So I will have somebody lined up for this Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to do one episode kind of backdated. I just have to find somebody to do it. But that's just one of the many things that time management I've been slacking on and trying to find balance. And those tips were some very good tips on there as well too. And only you can make the decision. I also came across a Forbes article as well too, since we still have a little bit of time here, that I wanted to discuss with you. There's 5 simple steps for creating balance in your life. Life in many ways, and this article was on forbes.com. Just type in 5 simple steps for creating balance in your life. It's by Noma Nashish. And I wanted to just read it. It's a very short article. Life in many ways is a balanced act, walking in a triumph and consistency, juggling between work, home, money, health, and relationship. In a bid to accomplish our goals and to succeed on all fronts, we often fail to understand the importance of having balance in our own lives. Maintaining a well-balanced life isn't just crucial for your health, happiness, and well-being, but it's also essential for boosting productivity, managing stress, and unleashing your true potential. So how can you achieve balance? Here are some 5 easy ways to get you started. Take a break. Take some time off, unwind, relax, recharge. It could be a couple of hours a day or, during the weekends. Switch off your laptops and smartphones and engage. Read a book, meditate, go for a jog, or talk to a loved one. I know you want to see who pinged you 5 minutes ago or check how many people double tapped on your latest Instagram post, but it's important to note that all of these things can wait. Similarly, don't trade your sleep for work. Overworking or overthinking about work-related issues at home doesn't just elevate stress. It also kills productivity and can damage your relationships. Once you're done for the day, take your mind off work. Embrace a healthy lifestyle, Your health is bound to affect every other aspect of your life. It's important to invest in your physical and mental well-being. Eat healthy, get enough sleep, stay hydrated, and work out regularly. Avoid negativity. Adopting a positive mindset and staying away from negative influences is essential for inner peace and happiness. Stay away from toxic people as much as possible. Practice gratitude. Avoid self-criticism, which I personally struggle with on a daily basis. And do at least one thing every day that makes you happy. Learn to prioritize. Create balance. It isn't about cramming in as many things as you can in your everyday life. It's about examining what is important and what isn't, and evaluating how much time and energy you should invest in things that matter to you. It is really necessary to answer work emails while you're at a family dinner party. Is buying that fancy fragrance more important than saving money for a down payment on your dream home? Assessing your priorities regularly to stay focused. Effectively manage your time and prevent burnouts. And I tend to burn out. I tend to, put the whole world on my back. And, it doesn't work that way. And I got to realize that and come to terms with that. And just take it 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time. Sometimes even 1 hour at a time. And, pamper yourself occasionally. Occasionally pamper yourself. Occasionally spending some time, to treat yourself can do wonders for your mood, mental health, and self-esteem. Once in a while, set aside some time for yourself. Schedule a spa visit, go shopping for fun, or eat your favorite restaurant. And if you want to unwind without making a dent in your bank account, listen to some music. take a long bubble bath, or just sleep in. Start to incorporate these changes in your routine today, and you can see, the difference. And, there's tons of articles on here. Like I said, I go hours upon hours talking about this. But unfortunately, I didn't bring any water with me or anything to drink. So it's probably what I'm going to go have to do now. Is go get something to drink, because I'm supposed to do another podcast after this. But, I just want to get an episode out here, and I think this was actually a better episode than it actually was. I apologize for being delayed on the last couple episodes. But going forward, we will have more episodes. I also think there's supposed to be an episode released on Monday. I will find out. But effective August, we will be back on track. So, I would like to just thank everybody for listening. Let me vent a little bit. Let me talk a little bit about time management. Also talking about, balance in life as well, too. And I'm really happy I got to do this. So thank you everybody for sharing. And let me talk here. And I'm excited for the next upcoming episodes and get back on track. And I'll keep you guys up to date with everything. Thanks for listening. This is your host, Buffalo Josh. Cheers, guys. Enjoy your day.